So now and then I come across a video and I just can't not click. How good is this? The title, how long will it take before Chinese EVs eat Tesla's lunch? I thought, oh geez, I already know the answer to that. The only thing they're going to be eating is themselves to death, trying to catch up to Tesla. And don't get me wrong, the future of the auto market is number 1 Tesla and number 2 through 10 Chinese EV makers. But they ain't catching Tesla. They're competing for the scraps. And I'll prove this with some data already in a moment. Then I thought, you know what? Let me read the description before I watch this video. I'll react to it in real time, but let me just read the description. How good is this? Some guy, president from Auto Forecast Solutions, we're not talking about an automotive industry expert, are we? Talks about rising competition between Chinese EV makers and Tesla and suggests that Tesla could consider letting go of manufacturing could consider letting go of manufacturing cars, but retaining the brand and core technology. So Tesla's already got the entire industry bent over, begging for more, harder daddy, and so on. And this guy is suggesting maybe Tesla should just leave the bedroom before the work's done. Can't wait to watch this. But before we do, I just want to remind everybody, BYD, who by revenue and by electric vehicles sold, is Tesla's second closest so-called competitor, is getting their ass handed to them in China by Tesla, who are selling vehicles for 2 to 3 times the average selling price of a BYD vehicle. This is August 2024, most recently available data. BYD generated 6% more revenue than Tesla in August in China. And forget the rest of the world, Tesla just absolutely smoking them. But just in China, BYD's backyard, Tesla, the foreign brand, BYD does just 6% more revenue than Tesla, selling 18 different electric vehicles versus Tesla's 2. For the month of August, Tesla, $2.479 billion of EV revenue in China versus BYD, $2.624 billion. Tesla, 2 vehicles, Model 3 dominating, Model Y dominating. BYD, 18 fucking models, so many, and some contributing so little. You need special breakout labels to describe half of these because you can't put the text on them because they're so fucking small and insignificant. Why are you even selling these, BYD? What are you doing? Too much complexity. Give up, bro. Embarrassingly for BYD, Tesla's number 2 and only major contributor here, Model 3, itself did more revenue than BYD's best-selling vehicle. And Model 3 is a fraction of Model Y's revenue, like a third. This, to me, does not look like a company, BYD, that's got a hope in hell of catching up to Tesla. Where are the economies of scale? And remember, Tesla's selling these vehicles, the Model 3, Model Y, for 2 to 3 times the price of the BYD vehicles. And BYD is making decent products for very good prices. But they're barely making any money on them. And there's so much complexity, it's embarrassing. And this is the number 1 EV maker behind Tesla, is BYD, by revenue, by vehicles. And amazingly by profits too, last I checked. Speaking of profits, James Stevenson posted this. We're looking at net income as a percent of revenue. In slightly less finance autist terms, how much money are they making? Bigger is better. BYD, by the way, this data, only up until 2023. Looks like 24 is going to be abominable for BYD. BYD's net income on their revenue, 5%. Tesla, 17%. So Tesla's making more than 3 times the money per dollar of revenue. Oh, I wonder why that could be. Oh yeah, that's right. A lack of complexity, 1 category killer per category. So I've spoiled the video already, but bro, Chinese EV makers are not eating Tesla's lunch. They will, however, if they can stay in business, end up eating the lunch of legacy automotive manufacturers, who themselves have far too much complexity and too much variation within their business and the number of products they offer. Volkswagen, Toyota, pick your legacy auto company, they should be concerned about BYD eating their lunch. They will. Now, with enormous tariffs, e.g. 100, 200, 300% of Chinese-made electric vehicles into certain regions, United States and Europe, BYD and other Chinese EV manufacturers are going to have a hard time selling their vehicles everywhere. But there are many countries that don't have these tariffs, and that's where these vehicles will first end up. Australia would be one such example. There'll be a flood of Chinese electric vehicles that consumers will be buying instead of a Toyota Corolla or a Camry. But these two businesses are not alike. And this really speaks to the products. The reason Tesla's able to smash BYD in their home country, selling vehicles for 2 to 3 times the price, is because their product is incredible and have so much simplicity and streamlining in the business that they're making about 3 or so times the money. But please tell us more, expert from company that talks about the auto industry, about why maybe Tesla could consider letting go of manufacturing the things that they're currently making 3+ times as much money on as the number 2 EV manufacturer in the world, and embarrassing them in their home country. Can't wait for this.
Tesla in Shanghai, the Chinese rolled out their red carpet. They did well for a while. It is their biggest, in terms of capacity, manufacturing site, I know, gigafactory there. But
Right.
The way Chinese EVs are going, BYD especially, how soon is it going to be before China ends up eating Tesla and Elon Musk's lunch? These guys are about the only other alternative out there with their FSD, in terms of autonomous.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think you really got to keep your eye on BYD, right? BYD is really on the heels of Tesla.
Well, bro certainly sounded confident in what he was saying. I wouldn't really describe this as BYD being on Tesla's heels, unless, of course, I had brain damage, right? If I had brain damage and I go, oh, look, they did more revenue, they're beating Tesla. But I don't have brain damage, so I'm thinking about this. Hang on, is this sustainable? Who's got the stronger business model here? Who's making more money on this revenue? That's actually what matters, right, in business, is how much money are you making? Revenue is irrelevant. Like, for example, in the most extreme case, if you were a business that wasn't making any money and you keep not making any money, you go out of business, so you don't exist, so not sustainable. So when it comes to having a business that could potentially eat the lunch of another, you certainly at least want to be making some money, if not a lot of money. But of course, what you really want is to be making more money than the company whose lunch you're going to eat. And as we've seen, this is not the case with BYD. There's so much unnecessary complexity in their business. I do not know what they are doing. I actually just don't. Actually, I think I do. I think they realize they can't make one category killer per category, so they're just going for the scattergun approach. Probably not going to age well. So again, on roughly the same amount of revenue, Tesla's making triple the profit and then some. That's what somebody who doesn't have brain damage would probably say on this particular topic. I'm not saying this guy has brain damage. I'm just saying that I don't. And, I've made my thoughts pretty clear.
And they have a lot more in the hybridization space. Tesla's own EV space.
Man, this guy's 0 from 2 at the moment. Imagine thinking that unnecessary complexity, a form of propulsion that's going the same way as the internal combustion engine, because it is an internal combustion engine with a vibrator-sized battery. Imagine thinking that that's a point to make the case that BYD may eat Tesla's lunch. If I didn't know any better, I'd think this guy was an automotive expert. Oh, wait. Oh, that's awkward. Yeah, okay, it makes sense now. Please tell us more about hybrids. Oh, God. Do you guys understand, right, from an engineering point of view, how completely brain-dead hybrids are? The only reason it would make sense to have hybrid vehicles is if electric vehicles weren't available for reasonable prices with reasonable range, which they are, and the cost to produce them is going to keep coming down, meaning they'll become even more affordable. So it no longer makes any financial sense to offer hybrids to consumers. The only reason companies are doing this is to trick dumbasses into thinking they're doing something good for the environment by fooling them into buying an ICE vehicle, an internal combustion engine vehicle, with a pissy little battery in it. Oh, look, it's a hybrid, it's good for the environment, you moron, buy one. A hybrid is the worst of both worlds. You have to be able to do everything an internal combustion engine vehicle can do because it is one. Plus, you've got all the additional bullshit by being able to operate on a tiny little battery occasionally as well. There's more shit that can break, there's more stuff that goes into it, there's higher costs, there's more complexity, there's more points of failure, there's high costs of maintenance. It's so dumb. And companies producing these things are just spreading themselves thin. They should be all in on electric vehicles. Hybrid costs aren't going to plummet over time because they're ICE vehicles. ICE vehicle costs have basically bottomed out already. More than a century of innovation and cost declines. They're done. EVs, brand new, much like computers, laptop. The cost is coming down, the performance is increasing, and this will continue over time. Bro, let's hope he's got one reasonable point. I might have to roast the guy the whole fucking video.
Look, when Elon wanted to build cars, he said, I want to do 20 million cars per year. That's an impossible act.
Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay, I think he's betting against Elon. Now, 20 million cars a year is a lot, but check this out already. Today, there's already about 80 million per year being made. So, in principle, is it possible to make 20 million a year? Obviously, globally, we produce 4 times that many already today. And the biggest automotive manufacturers per unit produced per year are roughly 10, 11 million. But of course, if you're an automotive industry expert, you look at that and go, well, that's nearly twice as many as the current biggest, therefore that's impossible. Like you might also, for example, say, well, there's no way a 40+ thousand US dollar vehicle would be outselling the world's best-selling vehicles, doing more than 1 million units per year at a price point 50, 60% higher. That's impossible. It's never happened before, therefore it can't happen, therefore it's impossible. Automotive industry expert confirmed. 0 from 3. What else you got, bro? Keep them coming. This is great.
You know, I have a theory. We have a theory at our company that there is a war game event here, a war room event that says Tesla doesn't build cars 10 years from today. What's the prize of building a car? There's high liability. Why don't just own the brains and the technology and all the software behind it and be brand agnostic? Spread that knowledge. You know, he's already capturing the idea of plugs, where people are walking away from standard plugs and they want to move to Tesla plugs. So this idea of Elon being, cannibalized in the market, I don't think that's going to be a negative in terms of his long-term play, in terms of owning the brains and not just one brand called Tesla in the future.
Look, I understand where he's coming from here, but bro, Tesla's still going to be making vehicles a decade from now. They may not be selling them to consumers, but you might want to check out their mission statement. It makes pretty evident what Tesla's going to be doing. They're going to be disrupting as many miles driven in gasoline vehicles as possible with electric miles, predominantly in robotaxis. It'd be great if they licensed their technology to other companies. It's all but inevitable. Tesla's not going to stop producing compelling electric vehicles, particularly robotaxis that scale over time, because that goes directly against their mission. I understand the argument. The automotive business, low margin, volatile, you make a lot more money just doing software. But Tesla's mission isn't to make the most possible amount of money with the least possible effort. Their mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Of course, in order to achieve that, they do need to make money along the way, and they're making plenty of it. But they're not optimizing for maximum profits, despite the fact that, ironically, they are far and away the most profitable automotive manufacturer at volume on Earth, and one of the only companies actually making any money selling electric vehicles.
So, yeah, I think it's out there, but, he's got Mars, he's got SpaceX, he's got solar panels, he's got everything else out there. There's a lot of fingers, a lot of pies he's got going on. I think that the car side is going to dwindle off over time, and he's going to find a new place to play.
Well, I can agree that as a percentage of all of Tesla's revenue and profits, as other elements of their business, e.g. autonomy, robotaxis, and then the humanoid robot scale, the entire automotive business, revenue and profits will eventually look like a rounding error. So I agree on this point, but I do not expect in any circumstance Tesla would pull the plug on producing vehicles, at least not for the next few decades, until they've displaced literally every mile on Earth with an electric one.
Could also have a position in a Trump administration, given the conversations that they've been having.
That is the next conversation, right? I think Elon's not a dumb guy. He's looking at the next frontier, and I think he's got opportunities. He's already looking at three and four steps ahead that we're not looking.
I strongly agree with that as well. But in case you haven't noticed, the guy seems to be a sucker for punishment and enjoy signing up for more pain. So it's not a matter of either or. It's a matter of in addition to. So I find myself agreeing with some of the final comments from the guest. Thank fuck. But bro, regarding BYD and the Chinese EV makers eating Tesla's lunch, you have to be kidding me. It seems like his argument was in fact, well, maybe Tesla's just going to stop making vehicles and therefore by default the Chinese EV manufacturers suddenly eat their lunch because Tesla's no longer hungry. What a wild one. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. There's plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.